Hey everybody, it is Dr. Tamara Turner, fanpreneur. Look, I got someone very, very special to me. Okay, very, very special to me. Miss Layla Lockwood. Stay rooted.
Yes.
Creditogenics. Hi, Layla.
Hi, thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Thank you for planting a seed years ago, right?
Yes.
And just the growth for you and your family. I'm super proud of you. You planted that seed and it's growing, it's working for you and your family. So I'm excited to be here.
You know how I feel. Planting seeds today to reap the harvest of tomorrow.
Yes.
You know, and it's so crazy because I knew that we were in such alignment with each other. You're stay rooted.
Yes.
And I'm planting seeds today. So it's like,
Yes.
I knew that our past, was such a positive impact when we were at the Credit Law Summit that time here in Atlanta. And
Women conference.
yeah, we were right. So it's like we've been together ever since, and just I see your growth and what you're doing for the community and how you are really helping a lot of people. What I really love about what you do is when you have those conversations with us, right?
Yes.
Every other Sunday. So guys, if you're not, got to get on our membership.
Yeah, the Inner C Circle. The Inner C Circle is just helping with your mindset. Your mind is your real estate. And I also like to say it's like the product of your own environment. If you think positive, you can produce positive. And, we like to come from an ecosystem of positivity, right? So whatever you surround your mind, your belief, it will come to pass. It will grow.
Such a firm believer in you can turn anything into something. Okay?
I agree.
All right. You can make a way out of no way. And having that positive mindset, vibrational wise, is super duper important. But let's get to what we really here to talk about. Okay. So how you telling folks they can be an LLC? Can you explain to the folks?
Yes. What we don't understand is that when we walk out our house, anything that we do on a day-to-day basis, we're doing business with other entities, from your light bill, from your gas bill. They ask you for your personal information to do business with them. Exactly. And when I started understanding that, businesses don't die, people do. And I'm like, you know what? If you really want to leave a legacy, turn yourself into a corporation, and corporation and corporation do business together, not people and corporations. And you're actually creating something that outlives you. So what I did was I LLC my name. So it's Layla Lockwood LLC is the business. And the beautiful thing about that is I don't own my name. My mantra is own nothing, control everything. Correct. So to create something that outlives me, what I'm doing is I'm creating revenue that is coming from an entity that is not me, and it will pass through lineage, multiple generations, because the business will bring in the revenue.
What's crazy is what people don't really know is their capital names is a corporation anyway, and they're not capitalized.
Again, nope. Okay. Other people are. Other businesses. Yeah.
So you are already operating as a corporation, but you don't understand that you're not benefiting from operating as a corporation. Right. Now you have an opportunity to. So you also spoke on sole proprietorship with your name.
Yes.
Why should someone sole proprietor and LLC?
Great question. Sole proprietorship is basically saying, hey, if I have only, I'm solely operating with maybe being a service, providing a service. Because sometimes we'll give our name and like, hey, you want to save 20% on a purchase today. You gave your name. That means it gave a percentage to the company, meaning to say, hey, we saved multiple customers 20%. How did they get that data, right? How did they get that inventory? Because we give it willingly, even saving $1 on a box of cereal, right? Save it. This is how they're getting information. This is where they collect the data. So what we do is we give our first and last name to the IRS and just create it for banking purposes only. Yeah.
What you mean banking purposes? What you mean banking purposes?
Listen.
Folks don't understand that.
Yes.
Can you break it into simplest form?
Everything we do, we give our name, it benefits someone else. So what it means that when you're giving your name, you're now giving credibility to your name.
Everything is commerce.
Everything is commerce, whether if it's exchange services or goods or commodity.
You know what? It's like this. Every single day, you are doing something that relates to purchase.
Yes.
Whether you are on the internet, you couldn't get internet unless it was done with purchase.
Right.
You can't even be on your cell phone unless it was done with a purchase.
Correct.
You can't even be on the internet unless it was done with the purchase. So why not put it on a corporation to get a tax benefit off?
And that's another thing where the name Layla Lockwood LLC became a corporation, because what I did was when the trust became to own the business, it allowed the business to actually build on its own. A lot of us personal guarantee, which I'm I'm so against it. But what happens is I get out the way because I don't own anything. I can't personally take out a loan for anything I don't own. So on paper, the major corporation is showing that, hey, the business is bringing in its own revenue, even if it has contractors or employees. It's showing that the expenses are being paid out from the business. It's not me personally. And that's where the corporation came in. So now I'm allowing to, borrow, exchange based on face value of the business because I forced it to stand on its own by me getting out the way. Personal guarantee is just taking out a personal loan that you're going to now pay that for your business, but you never allow the business to build credit.
So you don't allow the business to build credit?
No, if you actually take out a personal loan and you're making your payments monthly, that's personally you making a payment.
Wow. So you're saying my business should be doing it?
Absolutely.
Well, how are they doing that, and how are we putting it under a trust?
So the good thing is that when you, for example, you bring documents to the table and they're saying, hey, is this business qualified? See, we need to start sitting at the table and asking, what are the qualifications for the entity to borrow the loan? And what the bankers do, right? They'll say, hey, you can take it out for your business. But if you want to show on paper, hey, you say, hey, my business is revenue this. You got it on documentation. It paid taxes for 2 years. Those are the collateral exchanges. If you may have an asset, some people say, hey, I purchased a real estate property in my business name. That shows that is an asset. So now some people exchange assets. They use debt as an asset.
So one has to wait 2 years to form credit under their business name?
No, it depends on the way that you're structured, right? If you're bringing in revenue, that is a credibility to your business. We kind of stop looking at it from a credit score perspective and look at it for the collateral and the credibility. Business is totally different from something personal.
So how does one do that? Well, how would they make themselves credible?
Well, payback score is the biggest way, right? Because it shows that it has a business credit score. And you have experienced business where you're showing that, hey, I have these, maybe you have a light bill, maybe you have a brick and mortar building, maybe you have all these things that you're paying out, allocating. That is a responsibility. Wow. So that's assets to the business. You know what I mean? It's like,
I know. I'm just saying.
No. Like,
I'm saying that because some people don't. They're just like, how?
It's right in front of our faces.
It's everything that we're doing because, again, everything is commerce. So I said to you earlier, audience, electric, internet, cell phone. You can't do any of those things without having some type of commerce.
Yes.
Okay? And she is explaining to you that you are a corporation.
You have to be valuable on paper.
Right.
Not as far as your approach and walking into, you get something like build a relationship with the banker. No. You have to have an operating agreement. What does your operating agreement say of how your business will grow?
Yes.
If I say, hey, the business, this is how I talk. The business is looking for a loan. Why? Because the business needs to grow in marketing. The business needs a loan. The business needs to grow and get a building. The business needs to grow. So I always say the business is looking for a loan, right? I'm just a mouthpiece for the business. I don't own anything. So I completely get out the way.
So completely get out of the way. So when you're walking into a bank, what exactly are you saying to them? What are you bringing to the table?
Paperwork. And that's a good question because we say too much. And honestly, your structure is going to show. The business, how it looks, is the trust owns it. I'm on there as a manager, right? So if my name is on there as a manager, my name is actually a trustee as a organizer or operator. I'm a very low position in the business, right? So it won't get confused on paper. There's a trust-owned operating agreement. I'm just structured totally different. Yeah, trust-owned operating agreement.
You dropped the gem right there. You done dropped the gem. A trust-owned operating agreement.
We have that available for you. It's fillable. You can edit it for your business instructor. Yeah.
She is making it easy for you guys, okay? Fillable trust agreement, operating agreement, so you don't act as the owner.
Correct.
Okay? You are the managing trustee of it.
Definitely.
Guys, we got to shift things, okay?
I'm telling you, you walk in that bank confident, speaking their language, you have to look at yourself as the minimized position of the business because you want to make sure that you pass it on to the next one. So you don't want to be the head honcho.
No, we don't. We want to act as a manager. That's the thing. I'm the owner.
Yeah.
I'm the owner.
And
I'm the owner.
Yeah.
You don't want them to really know that you're the owner.
But the paperwork will show it too. And that's what I want people to get a better comfortability with. It's like, I don't have to own anything to be successful. You know, my life has changed drastically within the last 3 years.
Wow.
And it is because I did not look at everything as I own.
Well, wait a minute. I forgot to say something that was important. Layla transitioned from being a collection agency person. She was calling your phone, saying, y'all better pay this money. Okay.
But that, you know, those experiences built my posture because I, you know, was behind a cubicle, behind a phone, you know, violating consumers' rights. And
you didn't know it at first.
No, I just was doing what I needed to do and keep it down. But I learned, I learned, and I honestly, when you know better, you do better. Right? And it no longer align with my spirit of growth, because if I continue to lie to these people, what is it going to do for my family that didn't know? And I'm grateful for the experience because I took the strength, and that's how I became for the people. I actually want to show you what attorneys don't want you to know. And I always like to put my disclaimer right here at this point that, you know, I'm an economic activist. You know, I'm an advocate, and I'm not an attorney. I don't present myself to be an attorney. I'm for the people. And all over, you know, I've helped so many people, and just as a manager. And I love to just say that as I can come to the forefront and say, I don't have to own anything to be validated, to be qualified. You know, I qualified myself.
I think a lot of that in reference to validation is because people don't get validated.
Yeah.
At home.
Yeah.
So they feel like they need validation. But to be quite honest, being successful in a way undercover is your validation. You know?
Yeah. And for me, my success in today's, how I look at today's society is that I changed the narrative within my family. I am the one that's on the front line for my bloodline, and I changed the trajectory for my family. And the fact that I said that no one handed me anything, right? And sometimes we wear that as like a badge of honor. But my honor is that my children will be handed. My children will inherit it. This is what I want to popularize. My children will receive, you know, from me paying my dues, right? So they will now be handed because I've already paid the dues.
Okay. So since you said that, why is it so important to have a trust?
You know, it's all about protection and privacy. It's all about legacy. That's what we're missing. You know, we can be wealthy today. You know, I always laugh about my grandmother had the plastic covers on the couch. You know, we had wealth in our family. We still have wealth in our family. But the mindset of it all is that we didn't have the knowledge. We could not pass down the knowledge. You got somebody successful in your family. Maybe someone knows how to, you know, get in a, you know, amass certain things, but they're not sharing with you. So we like to talk about this amongst our family. So I love that what you're doing with your family and spreading it amongst that. You got to do this with your family to keep the wealth. I'm telling you, I'm like the third, fourth generation, and we're not seeing the wealth.
That's important to me. As you know, being a fanpreneur, it is so important about the family. You have sons, you know what I'm saying?
3 boys.
So it's like, for me, it was so much about our family. I mean, we travel together, we do everything together. So I couldn't even imagine not making sure on the wealth side that they're taken care of down the line.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I sure as heck don't want them going through some of the struggles that a lot of people are going through. Same with you. And so this has definitely been an eye-opening experience learning about the law.
Yeah.
It makes almost make you want to be a lawyer.
You know, no, you know, because I think information changes the situation. So the license and the credibility of it all is just knowing and then activating on the information. You know, we like to say, you know, knowledge is power. But let me tell you, when I applied it, I became very powerful in a very minute way because I got out of the way and allowed the trust to have all the power.
So how did you get here?
Meaning, what, like,
how did you pay for it?
Oh, you know, took it out the trust fund. No, but honestly, I let other people pay for some of the expenses in my investments now.
Okay.
I don't need the bank, you know, to leverage. You know, I think that when we go to the bank, that is the handout. You know, when people say we didn't get a handout, you go to the bank and it's just start a business in debt. I didn't have to do that. I thank God I didn't have to do that. And I allow other people to be the investors. So I give them a piece of the power, right? We want to be able to hold on to something, and the fact that they're investing in something powerful. They invested in something that is beneficial. and they'll see the legacy that I've built for generations to come. I'm
Wow.
helping other families, so I pour back into them as well.
That's deep. That is so deep.
Thank
So dope. Okay. So, what would be your biggest takeaway? What's the one thing a consumer needs to do? They don't even know if they're a consumer or a person.
I was gonna say in my now, I always say this, and I say that, if you don't know who you are, then you'll be subjected for someone to tell you who you are. So definitely understand the legal definition of the word person, right? And also understand that, you are the value when it comes to these banks, these lenders, these, hedge funds and things like that. They want your private personal information for a reason. Protect it. And also when it comes to, growing and, contracts and signatures, I always tell my seeds not to curse themselves, right? And then they pretty curse them. You have to understand when it comes to the verbiage inside of these contracts. Some of the contracts say, hey, we give you this, but we're going to take everything back from you. And I just got to a point, I got tired of things being taken from me, away from me.
Yes.
You want to actually build this legacy for, the state to go back to these states. So it's all about, as you build, position yourself, strategize for your family to inherit it and also for your family to control. So that means you have to teach them. I want to leave here empty.
So, how are you teaching them when they're young and they don't want to listen to try to explain?
Make it really fun. My oldest is 22, but I also have a 13-year-old, 10-year-old that stays with me, older one out the house. But we have game night. I also look at how just open-minded that they are with new technology, the tech world and things like that. So I make it really fun, and I sit down with them and I ask them to, tell me what I do. I want them to pay attention to what I do because these kids see, and guess what? They also benefit or they will suffer. So I make it fun.
Yeah, it's crazy because we actually, if people don't believe us, but I'm like, we actually have a business meeting and a family meeting
Yes,
every single week.
that is and documented.
Yes.
Yes.
Because it's recorded.
Yes,
For honor.
yes.
Okay. And we do that, one, for mental health. So, if there's something going on, you're fitting somebody, talk about it and we trash it then. Two, to elevate our business. And three, anything that's going on personally, we make sure that's straight.
That is really good.
So it's good to hear that other families, because not a lot of families do it at all.
Oh, we got a family group chat. We get serious. Okay.
Yeah, well, what is it called? WhatsApp?
Yeah, we got family meetings, family group chat. Right now school is getting ready to start.
Right.
I always ask them, what do they want to accomplish? These are things that me and my father used to talk about sometimes, and just wanted to break the bad traditions, because we talk about generational curse, but I try to explain to people it was never a curse. It's just that it was passed down from bad hands and it was a bad plan. So now that we're just talking because if not, we're going to allow social media to raise our children.
Correct.
We're going to allow society to continuously to reprogram them, right? And I would say, slavery has not changed. It's just updated, right? So I like to, it's on you and your house. It's a biblical concern to ask for you and your house. You want to make sure that you remind your children that they don't have to even know what a struggle is. And that's my goal.
They really don't have to worry about a struggle if you do it right. So, guys, I hope you have enjoyed this session. Because, look, Layla could go on for days dropping gems. But we're going to hold something for a little bit later, right?
I got you. You got something coming up. I want to be in the room.
Okay? So, look, guys, if you want to hear people like Layla, who helps with trust, and I'm excited because she's getting ready to start helping us again, you need to tap in at FamCon October 12th through the 15th here in Atlanta. And hopefully, Layla, my friend, will come on by and talk for us. Okay? Okay. Because I was like, Layla, will you go to our conference? Well, 5,000. I was like, oh.
Well,
we gotta get on the road.
We gotta get. Y'all need to plant your seed.
Hey, she's worth every penny and some. Okay.
And what I love to also tell the audience, and the education of it all. Someone can talk about having a trust. No, you don't need an attorney. They always recommend you to have an attorney, but you do want to make sure that the verbiage is actually beneficial for your family for generations. And I see that a lot of attorneys, they allow you to structure it in a way where it just go to a beneficiary, which is a person's name, and it stops there. Because how does that person know to continue to go to the second generation and beyond? So if you want to leave something for your great, 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 great grandchildren, start with turning yourself into an entity and creating something that outlives you.
So take your name, turn it into an LLC, acquire your trust.
Absolutely. The trust should be first because you want the trust to own the entity.
Yep. All right. And then get started on transferring some of those current things that are in commerce in your household to your business.
Layla, fund the trust. You're very, very welcome.
Thank you, guys. We're going to see you at the next one. Thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate you. We out. See you on the next video.